Imagine a ruler who commanded an empire without speaking a single word. Cleopatra understood that true power is as much about atmosphere as it is about armies. She curated a sensory experience so intense it became legendary before cameras ever existed. But what was the invisible weapon she wore on her skin? Historians call it the Mendesian, the undisputed Chanel No. 5 of the ancient world. Originating from the city of Mendes, this wasn't just a fragrance, it was a global status symbol. Owning a jar meant holding the wealth of the Nile in your hands. Yet the recipe reveals it was nothing like the perfumes we use today. Forget the light, alcohol-based sprays sitting on your vanity right now. Egyptian perfumes were thick, luxurious oils that had to be physically rubbed into the skin. This heavy base made the scent cling to the body for days rather than hours. It turns out, ancient staying power came from texture, not chemicals. To cut the heaviness, ancient perfumers added massive amounts of cinnamon and cassia. These spices traveled thousands of miles along dangerous trade routes just to reach the queen's vanity. It added a fiery, spicy kick that signaled aggression and vitality. This wasn't a soft floral, it was a scent with teeth. Then came the cardamom, grounding the fire with a cool, aromatic complexity. It balanced the sweet and the spicy, creating a fragrance profile that was completely gender-neutral. It smells like a rich, earthy incense, rather than a bouquet of flowers. The blend required a master's touch to keep it from becoming overpowering. Creating this liquid gold took months of slow, careful cooking. Perfumers would macerate the botanicals in hot oil, stirring constantly to infuse every molecule of scent. It was a tedious form of kitchen chemistry that demanded patience and precision. One wrong move, and a fortune's worth of ingredients would be ruined. Think about her famous meeting with Mark Antony on her golden barge. The sails were soaked in this very perfume, carrying her arrival on the wind before the ship was even visible. She weaponized scent to manipulate the mood before she even made an entrance. It's a masterclass in psychological warfare through sensory branding. For centuries, this scent was lost to the shifting sands of time. But recently, archaeologists and chemists teamed up to recreate the formula from residues found in ancient jars. They followed the old Greek texts to resurrect a ghost from the olfactory past. Suddenly, we can breathe the same air as the last pharaoh. So, what does the most famous woman in history actually smell like to a modern nose? It's incredibly thick, spicy, and musky, lacking the airy top notes we associate with modern elegance. It's a heavy, enveloping aroma that demands attention and occupies space. It feels less like a perfume and more like a physical presence. We often think of history as dates, battles, and statues of cold stone, but recreating the Mendesian allows us to bypass the intellect and hit the emotional center of the brain. Smelling this ancient oil brings Cleopatra back to life in a way a history book never could. One inhale, and the barrier between past and present dissolves.